What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Beyond the Bench podcast. Today, we're going to be doing our recap of the first week of fantasy playoffs. We are here once again with Landon. He is back.
Welcome back, my friend.
Hi, guys. Pleasure to be back.
This week was I don't even want to say a fun week. It was the closest, most nerve-wracking fantasy game I think I've ever had in my life. I was at work before the game yesterday. It was all I was thinking about.
Just explain. Explain to the listeners, Christian, what your circumstances were.
I hate Tua so much. Okay, so basically, I was up 7.1. He had A-Chain, I had Waddle. I figured there was enough of a gap to where if they both perform well or they both perform poorly, I would still win. But
Rightfully so.
Tua does not throw the ball. At one point in the game, he had 6 completions. I think this was after halftime, by the way. I want to point that out. He had 6 completions. 3 of them were to A-Chain. 1 of them was to Waddle. And he threw to Waddle, got intercepted, because, of course, the weekly Tua interception, you have to have it. And they did nothing until the fourth quarter, to which then they relied on checkdowns to A-Chain or 6'6" Darren Waller catching every ball that gets thrown to him.
He literally turned into prime Gronk in the fourth quarter.
Man, that guy went Superman mode.
It's because he's so big.
Speaking of big tight ends, did you see Darnell Washington?
When?
Last night. It took like 7 Dolphins members to bring him down.
Oh, yeah. The Steelers were using all their tight ends. They were using Connor Hayward to run the ball.
Johnny
Smith
to run the ball and take points away from Jalen Warren. Gonna touch on that later. I want to hold back. I'm gonna hold back.
Yeah, we'll let you get there when we get there. That's gonna be fun. But speaking of Jalen Warren, Kenneth Gainwell went insane. That had nothing to do with me. That was just insane. He had over 100 yards.
Did he really? I didn't know he did that well.
Combined, he had I think it was like 100, a little less than 120 combined or something like that.
That's so amazing.
Johnny Smith got a rushing touchdown for the Steelers.
I did see that.
The Steelers killed the Dolphins. It's been known that the Dolphins cannot play in the cold. And then there's one play after Waddle's second catch where when he caught the ball, he got rocked and they had to take him out of the game for a play. And guess who got the ball on that play? A-Chain! Going into I think it was with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, I was winning by 0.02.
That's ridiculous.
Literally, if the Steelers kept the ball the rest of the time, I would have won. But
I need the Steelers to do something last night. They might have won the game, but I didn't see anything special from the Steelers. I don't know if it's me, just because.
No.
But
it's well known on this podcast that I hate the Dolphins. It pained me to root for them last night, but I had to. It was awful.
Yeah, I've been out. I didn't make playoffs, so I was kind of just sitting in Christian's basement, just rooting.
And I looked good on Sunday too.
Yeah.
The only mistake I made, and it wasn't even my fault.
Which is not even your fault.
I think I told Nick. I didn't even tell Landon. I had DJ Moore on my bench. And I started Theo Johnson. I started Theo Johnson, who had 10.2 points. Roma Odunze got ruled out 5 minutes before the game.
Less. I think
in
it was
those
like
5 minutes, it was. I was shoveling snow. There was no way for me to know. I got screwed.
Can we get Peter to edit a graphic of just Christian?
Of Christian shoveling the snow. Yeah,
I'll send him the video that Theo took of me.
DJ Moore just peeking his head through the window.
Dude, I there was nothing I could have done. I didn't know. My phone was under 2 layers of pants.
Wait, 2? It wasn't that cold. I was outside shoveling in sweatpants and a hoodie.
It was actively snowing.
Yeah, I know. I was in sweatpants and a hoodie.
I had two pairs of pants. I had a pair of pajama pants on, which was what my phone was in, and then I had a pair of sweatpants on.
Yeah, well now we're all rooting for Landon in the playoffs. So good luck, Bird.
Yep.
Yeah, I was eliminated in one of my 3 leagues, so that was sad. I was projected to win 75% last night, and then
Oof.
Jalen
Really?
Warren
Jalen
happened.
Warren.
Why? What'd you need from Jalen Warren, if anything?
I needed Jalen Warren and the Steelers kicker to combine for 15 points.
That would have been so
They
doable.
didn't?
They didn't.
Wow.
Wait, how much did
Wow.
Chris Boswell get?
He got like 5.
They didn't kick a field goal. They only had
or
touchdowns.
4.
Oh, really?
He had 4 or 5, and then Jalen
Yeah.
Warren had like 8. So like I was like
That's
2 shy.
That's crazy. I know a lot
That
of people that
sucks.
missed that lost their games on extremely close game. One of my friends at school lost his game by I think it was .01 that he lost his game.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
We landed. We need someone to take down the beast that is Ronan.
That is
Somebody
We
has to
Ronan's
do it.
team is so good.
it's
He
he
had the
dropped
bye week this
200 in the
week?
bye week.
You
Yeah,
know, I keep
which-
looking at my team too, and I'm like, I don't even like my team. I feel like I'm like Nick now. I'm like, I don't like my team.
Well,
This has
I
never
don't like my team
happened.
because my team is hot garbage and didn't even drop 100 points this week. Not that it matters, but
You dropped 101 actually.
oh, yay.
Yeah, my team dropped like 102 on like the bye week. Like I still kept my
Oh,
starters in.
Also, I didn't start Mike Evans either.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I think I might have won if I started Mike Evans.
you
Let
were
me see how much I lost by. I think because I
5.
lost by
It was
5.
because Chris Godwin
And Mike
had-
Evans scored 5 more than Mike Evans.
What?
Or other way
Then-
around. Other way around. Sorry. Yeah,
Um,
okay. I lost by. Sorry. Okay, I lost by 7. So it wouldn't have just been
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. But if Kenny Pickett didn't start for the fucking Raiders, Brock Bowers would have done better. There's so
True.
many things that could have changed.
True.
Like
True. Hey, listen.
it is what it is.
That's
move.
what we say all the time on this podcast. You can do as much research and as much prep as you want. It's gonna come down to luck. That's just the bottom line. It'll come down to luck.
Well, it's gonna come down to the idiot coaches.
There's not much
Like,
you
that
can
too.
do. And there's always
that
next
too,
year.
the coaches.
Oh yeah, the coaches too.
And
But-
like Rico was saying, like the Buccaneers changed up their entire offensive scheme.
Yes.
And he started Bucky Irving.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't play Bucky inside the 10-yard line, and he got screwed.
I
Well,
think
they
I
also
played
said that
Bucky
Mike Evans
Irving,
was going to
too.
be on a snap count, and he wasn't. So
That also happened.
it's ridiculous. But let's get into some waiver wire picks. We have some good ones. For
Yeah.
anyone that's listening and they're still in the playoffs, congratulations. And without further ado, Lane, you want to start us off?
Yeah. There's a guy, and there's a
There is
picture
a
going
guy.
around about him. And he's kind of like hunched over and he's like this. I don't know if
Gollum?
that's an accurate representation. But his name's
So we-
JJ McCarthy. He's on the Vikings. He's rostered in 35% of leagues. 9, man. This guy, this game against the Cowboys changed everything. Changed everything. Past 2 weeks
changed
have changed
everything.
my outlook on JJ McCarthy.
9.
9.
So-
Landon, I don't know who you have to refer to him as 9. I can't.
As 9. Okay.
As 9. I
So-
don't know who
So
the other guy
9,
is. Okay.
right? So a lot of QBs went down. Patrick Mahomes just tore his ACL. On my fantasy team, massive quarterback panic week. Thankfully, I have Jordan Love.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jordan loves
And
a
Justin
good backup.
Herbert is on our waiver wire. So
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's
there's a lot
crazy.
of really good quarterbacks on our waiver wire. But so McCarthy, he's coming off 2 of his best fantasy games of the season. Last 2 weeks, 6 total touchdowns, 5 passing, 1 rushing, back-to-back top 10 fantasy quarterback finishes. Week 14, no. He played against the Commanders and week 15 against the Cowboys. I know what you're saying. 2 really weak defenses, 31 and 29. But this week, they have the New York Giants. And if we know anything, the New York Giants are going to be the get right game for any quarterback going forward. So listen, the Giants, they allowed multiple scoring drives to Washington, a team that not the Commanders, that the Vikings handled very well just a
Yes.
few weeks ago. Listen, the Giants team is not as good as the Vikings team right now, and a lot of that's going to have to do with J.J. McCarthy. This offensive trend, there's been a higher pass rate the past few weeks, more red zone passing attempts for J.J. McCarthy. The defense is giving J.J. McCarthy a chance on his side of the ball as well. A tremendous Vikings defense is always going to put J.J. McCarthy in a good position, especially against a struggling Giants offense. Easier
Struggling
fantasy
is
scoring.
a nice way to put it.
You know what? Give me the first overall pick. I'll accept it.
No, because
But-
guess what, Christian? We're gonna somehow win a couple games, and we're not gonna get it.
I don't want the first. I mean, I
I
don't
want the first overall pick so we could trade it down. And I don't think you stay at the first.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
But
and it would the trade would be with the Jets. And you know what? Give me the Jets first round pick next year because they're still gonna suck.
the Jets are always gonna be the Jets.
The
Jets
Jets
are
will
gonna
always Jets.
Aaron Glenn is an awful head coach.
I do not.
Yeah,
like
you
him.
could-
and
you could
a lot
fire
of my Jets fans,
coordinators, but-
my Jets fans, my Jets fans friends, they also hate Aaron Glenn, like passionately.
Mine too.
It was just a weird
I know
hire.
a lot of the Jets fans.
It was
Yeah,
a weird
weird
hire.
hire.
Never understood it from the get-go.
No, you know why? You know why? I'm telling you right now, they wanted to imitate what New England did with Mike Vrabel. You have an ex-player.
Maybe.
You have an ex-player who's supposed to be a player's coach, although the difference between Mike
I hate
Vrabel
players coaches.
and Aaron Glenn is that Mike Vrabel actually knows how to coach. Aaron Glenn does not.
And Aaron Glenn is an arrogant asshole. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna straight up say it.
Yeah.
Like
You should see some of these post game press conferences he does.
Yeah, I hate players coaches, especially. To me, it's just an excuse for them to get walked on. I see it with Aaron Boone in baseball all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my god, yeah.
and when you talk to former NFL players, they all say players coaches, they don't win. They don't win,
No.
and they never will win because they don't have the attitude to win.
I agree.
Yeah, I completely agree, and that's why the Jets are just
And
not
listen,
going anywhere anytime soon.
if you can get the Jets overall pick, then they're probably gonna draft Fernando Mendoza.
Who I don't think is going to be good in the NFL.
I'd
You don't
like
think
him as
it'll
a
translate?
person. I think he's a really good guy.
I
just
love this story. I do.
I do too.
So do I. I just
and I
don't know.
hate this
There's
guy
and
from
listen, we
from
could all be wrong
Vanderbilt.
right now, but sitting here watching him in
Hate
college,
this guy.
yes, Indiana is a phenomenal football team right now, but
Diego Pavia is that his name?
hate
oh,
I
Diego
hate
dude, did you
this
see
guy.
his?
I
Did you
hate
see
him
his?
with
hate this
every
guy
bone
with
in
a
my
passion.
body.
He is an
How-
oh my god.
How do you even think it's remotely right to act the way you did after
It's-
the Heisman? That's just disgusting.
He went and
there's no
partied with
excuses for that.
with an F
And
Indiana.
you know what's
like,
crazy? He's probably gonna get drafted higher than Shador did, and Shador never did anything that bad.
I agree, and I've hated this guy. I hated this guy all season. I've watched him play almost every game. I watched a lot of Vanderbilt games. I hated him then. He's very flashy. He's very arrogant. And then the whole thing with Theo Vaughn just added to the
wait, what happened?
just
with Theo
piled.
Vaughn?
You don't know this?
I do not.
Oh, here we go. Okay,
Oh,
so
this is so crazy.
he was. I don't even know how it started. Theo Vaughn goes to a lot of Vanderbilt games. I think he's from around there.
Okay.
Yeah, he
At one
he lives
point-
in Nashville.
Yeah, and at one point he made a bet with Diego Pavia, where if Pavia did something during the
Aren't they not
game or
allowed to do
something,
that?
it wasn't that kind of bet.
Oh, okay.
Just wait. He was like, if Pavia did got this amount of stats or something during the game, Theo Vaughn would go on a date with Pavia's mom, and that was a whole thing. And he did the thing, he did the whatever stat he needed to do, and it's been a thing ever since. This was probably 2 months ago, at least 2 months ago.
What do you mean, like a thing? Like them, like him and the mom are a thing?
I don't even know how to describe
I don't
it.
know. Theo
Yes.
Vaughn was at the Heisman ceremony.
Yes, he was.
Oh, what?
With Pavia.
So,
like, I don't know
that was like
where
a whole
this
thing. And
relationship
Pavia
goes.
thinks he's sick for that. He didn't even have. He had a lot of rushing yards this year, but so there were these 2 videos going around before the Heisman ceremony, where like they were interviewing all the Heisman players, all 4 of them, and one of them was like, one of the questions was, if you could pick one Heisman winner to play with in your career, who would it be? And they all gave other Reggie Bush, like they gave real answers. Pavia goes, myself.
Shut
And
up,
then,
bro.
and then the other question was, who's the first person that you would thank and hand the trophy to after you win?
Myself.
One of them said God. The rest of them, they all said their mom. He goes, probably myself, and then my mom.
That's just
And then
class 1 narcissist.
he goes, then my mom. And then I'll probably give the trophy to Theo so he could put it on his podcast set. I swear to God.
That's just so weird.
I do not like this guy.
I love Theo Vaughn. Nothing against Theo.
I do too. No, this
Theo's
is
a
nothing
legend.
to. I love Theo Vaughn.
Theo
I
doesn't
hate
even know
Diego
what he's
Pavia.
doing right now.
He's
Like,
just
he doesn't
cherry
even know.
picking for attention. That's what he's doing. Like,
I hate Diego Pavia so much.
that's ridiculous.
It's yeah.
Anyway,
Back to waiver wire.
Back to waiver wire. You know what? We started talking about the Jets. I'm gonna go back to the Jets. Waiver wire pickup, 30% of leagues. A.D. Mitchell.
Okay.
Yep.
He has looked really good since Justin Fields was
Stop
stripped
playing.
of his starting ability. I had to pull up his stats here real quick. He's getting so many targets from Taylor and Brady Cook this past week. He had, where are we at? There we are. So he had 9 targets this week, 6 targets the week before, 12 targets the week before that. He's been getting so many targets since he came to the Jets. Since joining the Jets, his lowest amount of targets was 6.
That's crazy.
Against the Falcons, he had over 100 yards. This past week against the Jaguars, he had a touchdown, 58 yards, and 6 catches. He's looked really good since joining the Jets. And against a Saints defense that has not looked good, I think he's going to perform well again this week.
And let me just say something. Shout out to my professor at Bing, but we were talking about this, and he described A.D. Mitchell perfectly. He said he's got the talent. He has 100% got the talent. He is one of the more talented receivers in the league.
Yeah.
However, he needs to work on his attitude and he needs to work on his game management. If he can do those 2 things, I have no doubt in my mind that he will be a top wide receiver in the league.
Well, that's
He
something
was
a lot of wide
drafted high.
receivers struggle with. I
Right.
think that, and
Yeah.
it's part of the maturing process. And I think someone he could benefit from talking to is someone like Odell Beckham Jr., who instead of taking the maturing route, he's on the record saying he regrets like what he did, like leaving the Giants, like the way like everything happened, like the fallout. And I think a lot of players can learn from that story, because Odell, I think that's, if he could go back in time and erase one thing, I think it's him leaving the Giants. And like, obviously he got a Super Bowl ring with the Rams, and
I genuinely think he'd have more than one Super Bowl if he stayed in the league long enough. Genuinely, he was that good.
he was that good.
He was so good.
Did you guys see he's home? He said he's homeless now or something. He's broke or something.
I'm not even surprised.
It's
Yeah, he said he's
crazy how many NFL players and former athletes in general, or even current athletes, get into financial troubles, and I don't know what it is, and it leads a lot of them.
Listen, none of us can speak because we're not making millions of dollars, but again, it is easier said than done, because a lot of these guys are coming from,
They've never had this.
Impoverished areas. They needed to work all their life for this, and that builds character. But at the same time, you get your first game check for, however much money it is, the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Like,
How do you
listen,
expect
not to
somebody
throw
to deal
anyone
with that?
under the bus, But Puka Nacua having a case to carry his cleats in that's worth like $400,000. Like, come on.
Like that's ridiculous.
But I feel like in the NFL, there's very little medium. Like it's either there's that or there's the people that are
Yeah.
extremely like, I don't want to say, I guess, financially stable, but like they use it well.
Right.
Like they have families. They like
They save it.
Aaron Donald, like they're all very like well known.
The kid on the
guys.
Jets
And, like,
that passed away a few months ago, Nick Mangold. He was really
Yes.
smart with his money. His family's in a
Yep.
really good spot.
Yeah.
Good. And that's what you want to see. But I mean, because look at guys like Justin Jefferson and Jamar. They get in the league, and their whole thing is their bling, right? You know, the jewelry, the grills, and that's
Malik
all cool.
Neighbors.
But what?
It's all these LSU guys. I don't know what they're doing down there in LSU. Like I'm not even like
Well, because they
Justin
have,
Jefferson,
like,
Malik,
now with NIL
Jefferson,
money.
Neighbors, Chase. But even before that, Odell went to LSU. Jarvis Landry went to LSU.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they were all
did the
getting
same
paid.
thing.
They were all getting paid.
Yeah, they were. But it's just like I don't know what it is about it down there. Even the way Joe Burrow acts sometimes. Like it.
Yeah,
it's
the
all
Joe
weird.
Shaughnessy
Actually,
attitude.
I watched the quarterback documentary on Netflix, and they actually went in a little bit about that, like how like Burrow, like with his money and his fashion and everything. It is pretty interesting.
Yeah, but no. It's
My
something about the wide receivers. They're all very arrogant.
Yeah.
they
And
all
it
think
shows.
they're the best.
Which you need that to an extent,
Well, they
but
get
not
paid
to
the
the
most-
extent that they go to.
They get paid the most outside of quarterback.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
On the
Well,
offensive
to be
side.
fair,
I believe so,
they're
yeah.
the second most important position on the field.
Right.
But anyways, again, another tangent.
Happens a lot.
My waiver wire pick is Michael Carter. Bam
I
Knight
almost
was just
put him. Yeah.
Michael. He was just put on IR. Bam Knight, and he may split carries with Amari DeMarcado, but I
I
think
didn't even know he was still on the Cardinals.
yeah. I think Michael Carter's going to leave the backfield on this one. So
Michael Carter
they're
led the backfield this week. I saw he had like 12 carries or something
right.
like that.
Yeah. So I think he's a good choice, especially now with a lot of, I wouldn't say like injuries, but a lot of, now that we're getting into the playoffs, you need to make the right choices at flex spots and positions. And they're playing against Atlanta, who's ranked 20th, middle of the road, a little bit worse than middle of the road.
And we say this every week. Atlanta has like one of the most bipolar defenses in the league. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Christian, who you got?
I mean, we already kind of talked about him. Darren Waller.
Yeah.
I hate to even say it, but he's rostered in 19% of leagues. He was hurt, and then they kind of eased him back in, and then in a pinch last night when they were down and they needed him, he got every target.
Which I
and
feel like he
caught
does do
almost
that a lot.
everyone.
When they need him and they target him, he gets the ball. I just don't know why they don't target him normally. Because like it's clear he's still got it.
He's so much bigger than everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of those his first touchdown last night, he like jumped over these two. It was insane. I couldn't even be mad.
He's either that or he's dropping everything that comes to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There's no in between, but they do play one of the worst tight end defenses in the NFL this week in the Cincinnati Bengals. So
one of the worst defenses in all.
Yeah.
Period.
But we say that, but I think I was telling Nick today, like 2 hours ago, the Bengals have the 7th ranked wide receiver defense or something? 5th? Like they have a weirdly good wide receiver.
Something high.
And then tight end defense 32nd.
Yeah, rush defense 32nd.
Yeah. So who knows? But Darren Waller is a good pick against the worst tight end defense in the league. He's projected 10.7 points. If you even need him in a flex spot, I use Theo Johnson in the flex spot this week.
I played
a lot of good
Kyle Pitts in my flex spot in the league that I Oh wait, that was Sleeper. Sleeper. I played Kyle
You did it in
Pitts
Sleeper?
in my flex spot. I killed Charlie regardless.
Yeah. Not a lot of people pay attention to that anymore, unfortunately. I think if you beat Charlie, that might mean you play me, though, this week.
Maybe. I
Let's
think so.
see.
Maybe.
Probably. Yep, you do.
Yo, this is our third time playing each other this year.
I know.
Texas at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Stadium
Let's see
pulse at the
how-
max.
See what I'm projected this week. I got to fix my team.
Once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime, John Cena versus The Rock.
So let's get into some of the starts and sits for this week. I have a pretty out there start this week. We talked about him a little, but that's 9 against the Giants. The Giants are, of course, they're ranked 31st in the league. But
Of course.
Sorry?
Of course.
Of course. So, listen, and if JJ McCarthy's been playing well against bad defenses, then let's keep that rolling. I don't see why not. If especially with an injury to Patrick Mahomes, 9 is in a lot of those leagues. We said Landon mentioned earlier he's a waiver wire pickup. You could start him if you have Patrick Mahomes or someone, another quarterback that got injured. I would say start him. That's a very good start in my opinion against a very bad Giants defense.
Yeah.
So
Landon, Jose, who do you got? Because you said you have 2 today.
yeah, I know it's not like someone that's traditionally like on waivers. Like he's probably on someone's bench somewhere. Maybe fringe starting. It's Justin Herbert. Okay, like this.
He's on waivers in our league for some reason.
So this Dallas defense, bottom tier defense, especially when it comes to passing defense, this Dallas team, first of all, is dead. That Vikings loss broke them. When you allow JJ McCarthy to all of a sudden look like a franchise quarterback, there's something going on in Dallas. Herbert, he's walking into this matchup with some better weapons, a win against the division rival Chiefs that officially killed their season. So maybe a little bit of morale boosting there. Obviously not what you want to see with Patrick Mahomes, but this is a team that like they actually want to score. And if Dallas is, this cure for struggling quarterbacks, let's get
which they've proven that they have.
Yeah, this is a reason for Justin Herbert owners who might be hesitant about starting him to go ahead and do that.
Yeah,
100%.
My guy is Jared Goff, who put on a masterpiece.
Yes, and
against
still lost, unfortunately.
the top-ranked Rams defense in the league. 338 yards, 3 touchdowns. A Lions offense that has looked incredible all year, that has been held behind by their defense, kept
which I
moving
feel like
this week.
is a reoccurring theme recently.
Yeah, and they're going up against the Steelers, who, let's give it to them, they play the Dolphins this week. That's really, they're still not a good defense in my eyes. And I think Jared Goff's going to walk all over them this week. They have the 25th ranked
and this is a
defense against
must-win
quarterbacks.
game for them.
Yeah, I agree. A Lions team that's been up and down all year, but I think the bottom line consensus with the Lions, as always with Dan Campbell being the head coach, is they're always going to compete. They're going to overcome that defense. They have the offense on the field to do that.
Oh yeah,
They were competing when they were 0-whatever 2-3 years ago. So
yeah. When Dan Campbell's first years, they were
his
competing.
first year, they're never not going to.
No.
Len, do you have another one?
Yeah, so I have another start, and then I'll go into my sit too, if that's okay. So, I have Drake May versus the Ravens. So I get it. He had not a great game versus the Bills. Like,
Drake May.
Yes.
My goat.
So, people are starting to panic a little bit. I looked. He started in only 60% of leagues, which to me seems a little low.
That is extremely low.
He's rostered in 90%, but he started in 60, which is weird because like Drake May's been probably like a top 3 quarterback in the league. Like bottom line.
Oh yeah, he's second in MVP voting basically.
But
and Josh
his
Allen
MVP percentage tanked after this week, though.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
and that's
absolutely tanked.
kind of where I'm getting at. This isn't the time to panic. Like the Patriots had a 22-0 lead going into halftime. It was just a
Mhm.
bad half for that Patriots team. And when Josh Allen activates Superman mode, like there's no competing with him. Like the
Yeah,
Ravens,
that is so true.
this Ravens team just had my former colleague Chris Broussard on crutches 2 weeks ago going into the show because he thought the season was over when they lost to the
That was so
Steelers.
funny.
They're banged up, vulnerable. I don't care that they beat Joe Burrow. That Bengals offense is obviously broken. So Drake May, he gives you the upside, and in the fantasy playoffs, upside is what wins games.
Is exactly that is what we preach every week. You cannot have a stagnant team. You need players that can give you a lot of points because you never know.
Yep.
Look, if Ronan was playing somebody this week other than the bye week, he dropped 195. You can't have only players dropping 10 points. So I completely agree with that.
So that leads me to my sit for this week. It's Joe Burrow versus the Dolphins. I
Joey
don't
Ice.
like Joe Burrow's attitude right now. I don't know what happened. I don't know what changed, but
I
the
mean, he looked good
same
the first 2 games.
the same Joe Shiesty, this aura-filled guy that we're used to is not there right now.
Mhm.
I watched a press conference and like he had brought up the idea of retirement, and that to
I
me is
saw that.
really
Did he really?
scary. That's scary to me. Like, Burrow,
He's
he
going to be
said
the next
something.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah, he said something along the lines of like, hey, like I'm not going to do this if I'm not having fun anymore. And Joe Burrow did not look like a guy having fun against the
Mhm.
Ravens this past
No.
week. And and when these quarterbacks, they stop having fun, they're not going to produce on the field. He was scoreless against the Ravens. And until I know Joe Burrow wants to be there, I'm not risking my season on starting Joe Burrow just
I
for
agree.
the chance that he's able to turn back the clock to the same Joe Burrow we've seen in the past. Listen, we've seen this movie before. Nick just mentioned it. This screams Andrew Luck all over again, and I really don't want it to be.
No,
I
and
don't
he's a great quarterback. And actually, Landon, I don't know if this is what you're referencing, but I saw in the post game, Jamar Chase had said to the media that is the first time in however many years that Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase have been playing together that he needed to lift up Joe Burrow after the game.
Yeah, it's that too. Like even his teammates are noticing it. There's something off with Joe Burrow, and I hope he knows like he's not in it alone. Like obviously we've seen like some scary stuff happen recently with Marshawn Nealon, and I hope
Mhm.
like if he is going through some mental troubles that he does seek out the help he needs.
I mean, and it's sad, honestly. I mean, you know, in the end, it's a game, right? It's it's a game that these guys have played since they were little, and you don't want to really see that happen. But the reality of the situation is that the Bengals have not given him the chance to show who he really is as a quarterback, other than his rookie season. He's been behind a horrible offensive line almost his entire career. He's had what 2 or 3 potentially season-ending careers that
Yeah.
luckily, thank God, he was okay, but
Yeah.
that's not
It,
sustainable.
no. And like the Bengals have had a notoriously bad, like talked about widely offensive line.
And they don't
Yeah.
do
And they do
anything
nothing to
about
fix it.
They do nothing about it.
And their
It's terrible.
defense too.
Yeah,
that too.
yeah.
That too. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But moving on to running backs.
Neither of us said our sits.
Oh, sorry,
You said
my
your
sits.
sits.
My bad. I actually had
It's
a
all
very
right.
good sit, and that you two are going to disagree with, but
No,
I
we have
feel
the
like
same sit.
Oh,
I
do
saw
we?
your list. Yeah. We have the same
Jackson
sit.
Dart.
It's Jackson Dart. Yeah,
Jackson
I
Dart.
was fading him too, but Nick.
Yeah.
So here's my reasoning. And you're actually going to be surprised about this, Christian. When I was looking more into the stats, Minnesota has only allowed a quarterback to get more than 20 points 3 times this entire season.
Wow.
3 times that they've, and it's been, I think one time was like 20.5, the other was like 23 and 24. But
Wow.
like they have been remarkable on defense, and that's what's been, as Landon said earlier, that's what's been carrying them throughout the year, and especially on on an offense where Darius Slayton can't catch a damn ball for the life of him. That Jackson Dart is not going to do anything.
Don't
So
get me started about Darius Slayton.
I would say just sit him this week. He's gonna. My take of the week. Nick's take on Beyond the Bench this week is Jackson Dart will end with less than 15 points.
I don't hate that. He ended
I
with
could
less than
see it.
15 against the Patriots.
Yeah, I could see it. Dak struggled against the same defense.
Dak
and
only got 11,
been,
and that's a
Dak
super
has
powered
been
offense.
Otherworldly this year. Dak has been
Mhm.
great. Dak has been back to being elite this year.
Yeah. And the Vikings defense shut him down.
Uh-huh.
And I agree. I don't think Dart's going to perform very well this week. I think that mentally, I don't think Mike Kafka's a good coach.
You think this has been known?
No,
Who said
no,
they-
but like, he's not even remotely good. Did you see, either of you see the video of him from Hard Knocks? He literally curses every other word. I was telling Nick about this on Sunday. Like, it was like a meeting, like a team meeting. Literally every other word, he was like cursing. Like, does he think he's cool? It doesn't make sense.
When people
I
curse
can't
that
wait
much,
for
that just pisses me off when people curse that much.
it
Like,
was
especially like in like a formal press conference
Formal setting, right?
setting.
yes.
That's what makes
You're
He was
not a high
talking to
schooler,
the
bro. You were the
he was
coach of the New
talking
York
to the
Giants.
team, talking to the team. And Hard Knocks was obviously there filming. Like none of the teams seemed very motivated by
fired
him.
up by it.
Yeah, he like was using it like
It's one thing if you're he was kind of using it as deprivation, right? And like
yeah, kind of. It almost like the way he was handling himself was like the Steve Buscemi thing where it's like, how do you do, fellow kids? Like, it was so weird. It was so weird.
Yeah.
It was all very weird. And I think the Giants might just be mentally checked out at this point.
I mean,
I think the whole
I'll take it.
franchise has been mentally checked out since 2012.
Yeah. Yeah. But give me the first overall pick. I'll be happy.
Yeah, right. Running backs. Mine is a little interesting. I want to point out that everybody listening, everybody watching, whatever, and you too. Well, really, Landon. Watch out for the guys that have incentives at the end of the year. There is a clear correlation between guys that have
That's right.
financial incentives and that perform better.
We're reaching this point of the year.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that.
And it's true. It's true. Quarterbacks and players like receivers, they talk all the time at the end of the season, like, hey, like, can you get me the ball because such and such is an incentive? And they'll be like, yeah, I got you. It used to happen between Gronk and Tom Brady. Like,
Gronk and Tom. I was about to say the same thing.
That was like
Gronk
the
and
classic
Tom Brady.
one. I think that was actually the first time where they made it like public. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was like the first time where they came out and said, yeah, like Gronk needed one more catch or whatever.
Yeah, because there was like video of it.
Yeah. But without, my guy is Rico Dowdle versus Tampa Bay. Regardless of the good matchup, Tampa Bay is ranked 23rd against the rush. He needs only 113 total yards and a touchdown for I think it was 250,000. I could be wrong on the number. It's in between 250 and a half a million on the incentive, but I will bet money on the fact that the Jaguars are going to feed him the ball. Absolutely.
Panthers.
Especially with the year that he's had against a good matchup. Absolutely.
I think that he's just going to kind of pound the rock. This is going to be a very heavy running game.
Yes.
Because, well, I'll say my start's Bucky. and the Panthers have the 24th ranked rushing defense.
Okay.
So I think this is going to be one of those rushing games that's just going to go back and forth. Both running backs are going to have 100 yards and a touchdown. Like, it's just going to be one of those
Well, do you think
games.
Sean Tucker could be a viable option?
Yeah.
I
We
do.
saw this
I
week.
do.
We saw this week the Bucks don't use Bucky inside the 10-yard line. They use Sean
I
Tucker.
think, you know what I honestly think it is? I think he's still injured.
It could be. It could be, and
or,
they don't want him.
or at least they're scared of that he's going to re-injure
And
something.
they don't want him running in that close quarters. I get that.
Yeah.
You got to feel bad, though, for Rashad White, who just kind of got kicked out once Bucky got back.
Yeah, he was my flex starter for like 3 weeks, but
Yeah.
decided not to do anything. Landon, who's your start?
I got Kenneth Gainwell.
Okay.
I do. I really liked what I saw last night.
He catches a lot. That's why.
You know,
He had like 8
so
receptions or something.
that dual threat. Gainwell does everything. He's fantasy managers. Sometimes they forget the value of being able to do both as a running back. Just
Look at
because
CMC.
Kenneth Gainwell might not be number 1 on the depth chart does not mean that he doesn't have number 1 upside. When you add those receptions in, he is very viable. He is projected for over 13 points this week. Like we just saw him go off last night against Miami, as Christian mentioned, having over 100 total yards.
Which I actually think it was Christian that was talking about. Christian was, as you said, Landon.
It was
Christian
Colin.
was, or Colin. It's just
Colin.
one of them were confused on how much he was projected. I think he was also projected 13, and someone was like, "Yeah, it's because he like the stat line. He caught 7 receptions for 46 yards. That in itself is a good fantasy performance if he wasn't even a running back."
Yeah,
So-
it was on Sunday, and Colin was watching his fantasy game, and he's like, "Yeah, but I have to go against Gainwell tomorrow night." And you looked at him, and you're like, "And like, why does that matter?"
Like Gainwell's almost
we
like
saw
another like receiver or like tight end, like kind of. But like he's just he's the receiving back. But
exactly.
I'm starting Gainwell confidently if he's on my roster. Not just hoping. What I saw last night was a clear indication that Pittsburgh wants to get Gainwell more involved, and
he also rushed the ball very well. I think he averaged like 6 carries.
Yeah. And
6 yards per carry.
And yeah. So
and they're playing a very shaky Lions defense this week.
Yeah, they struggle
As
a
we
lot
always say,
with
the Lions defense
with backs who could who could create those gaps.
My running back sit is. Or do you guys have any more?
Nope.
No.
Okay. My running back sit is the guy who dug Christian's grave this week. Dropped 31.5 points, 3 touchdowns. Was part of Trevor Lawrence's magic game.
6 touchdown performance.
That is Travis Etienne Jr. He's playing against Denver, and Denver has the best rush defense in the league.
I wish you could have been playing Denver this week.
Travis Etienne will not see the light of day against the Broncos, and I think his production is going to be completely based on if he gets a touchdown.
And with Trevor Lawrence, who has arguably been the best player in the NFL this past month. This past month, I just want to make that clear because, like, as a season, like, he's not the best player. But this past month, he has arguably been the best player in the league. They're going to be
I think he's been a very underrated quarterback this year.
They're going to be more than comfortable having Trevor throw the ball.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Trevor Lawrence is more of a late season guy. Like he's like a late bloomer when it comes to production. You always see like in the beginning of the year, ever since he's been in the league, a little bit shaky, a little bit. Then he finally like gets his confidence. He's making good throws. And you see, like last week, he got 6 touchdowns. I mean, that's amazing.
And honestly, if the Jaguars, and it's looking like they will, if they make the playoffs, the
They
AFC
could go
this
on a
year,
run.
in my opinion, is wide open.
Yep.
The AFC,
I think the
Especially with the
Broncos
Bengals and the
is
Chiefs
so
not making it.
weird.
The Patriots are frauds. The Broncos are starting to prove themselves to me. They looked really good against the Packers.
Yeah, I've become more and more confident in Bo Nix, I think, since he took down Patrick Mahomes. Like, when he
Yeah.
beat Mahomes, like, I was like, okay, let's take a step back, because, like, that was something that actually, like, means something. A lot of the wins that Denver had before that didn't really mean much, but that
Yeah.
one really opened everyone's eyes, and we've seen Bo Nix really grow as the leader of this team.
And he's
Well,
corny.
what
And
do
he's
you
corny.
what do you say to the people that
That was
called you
so
guys
funny.
underachievers?
No,
That were
underdogs.
or
No,
underdogs.
underdogs.
He said we're overdogs.
That was the
Yeah, dude.
stupidest thing I've
Yeah,
ever
dude.
heard. He
Go
is
get him,
so
bro.
corny. I hated that. Like, it was so funny the way that all four, like,
He
we were
says it
watching
with
in the
so
basement.
much confidence.
Dude, we were watching in the basement with my dad and Colin, and the way all four of us reacted almost identical. We're like, "Are you serious right now?" I'm like,
I was
only
shocked.
half.
I was like, "There's
I was
no
like
way
half.
he just said that."
I was half paying attention. I had to do a double tap. I'm like, did he just say that?
We're overdogs.
That was awful. That was so bad.
Who are your
I-
guys' sits?
Mine is Ashton Genty,
Okay.
who I honestly don't even know how he played this week. I just know that the Raiders were terrible this week.
Let's
Um,
check.
But the Raiders are playing the Texans this week, and the Texans have looked unbelievable. Yeah, he had
He
9
got
carries for 35
8.2.
yards. Yeah, he's been terrible lately. He and the Texans defense is gonna kill him.
I wonder if
Like,
there's anyone that drafted Genty in the first round that is still in the fantasy playoffs.
There's got to be like one person, and they have to have made like some sort
Christian
of crazy
can attest
trade.
to this. Christian can attest to this. I said the fact that
did.
he's going in the first round is ridiculous.
I hate drafting rookies in the
Absolutely
first round.
ridiculous.
Like, period.
Yeah,
He
I
went to
didn't draft
no
anyone in my
disrespect,
leagues.
but he went to Boise State. Come on.
Well, okay.
And I'm not
He-
no. I'm
he
not
has
saying
the
he's
talent.
bad. Yes, but he has never faced this good of opposition.
No.
Ever, except that first round of the playoffs last year. That's it.
Yeah.
And the one time
And
they
to be
played
honest,
Oregon.
he's behind one of the worst O lines in the league. He's absolutely not doing anything.
I saw a
Absolutely not.
stat today of every like all the NFL teams and how many injuries they've been playing with this year. The Raiders have been awful. 4. They have 4 injuries. This is basically a fully healthy Raiders team.
This is a team that people had making the playoffs this year. This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I will admit, I was one of those people.
I was not.
I was one of
I
those
know
people.
a lot of well-respected people that had the Raiders winning over 10 games this year.
I didn't go that far. I think
And
I
it
had
is
9 or 10.
crazy. But let me get to my sit, because this is personal. This one's personal.
Yeah.
I needed 10 points. 10 points last night. 75% win probability, and he gives me 7.8. You can't trust this guy, period. I don't care about the stats. Fantasy playoffs are no time for emotional attachment, so he's gone.
Get him out of here.
That's
Get
all I
him
had.
out of here.
I didn't really care about the stats when it came to him. It was all personal.
Jalen Warren
According to
pissing
Landon.
people off this week.
It's ridiculous. It's
personal.
ridiculous. What, Christian?
No, I was gonna say Jalen Warren's been such a weird player this year.
He started
Like,
off
he's
the
so
season
on
very,
and
very
off.
hot.
He's got like
Yeah.
5 games. He'll average like 15 points, and then he'll go on like a 2-game cold streak, and then he'll go back to having like that 5 games. So I'm not trusting him.
No, I wouldn't either.
Moving on to some wide receivers. I actually like my lists. I didn't pick any obvious ones. And I'm moving on to that. Speaking about the Raiders, I'm picking Nico Collins. I think Nico Collins has the opportunity to go nuclear this week. I genuinely do. He has
Had a really
He
good
has
week last
been-
week.
He did.
Yeah. And listen, Christian, this is going to surprise you. He has been, I would say, the most underrated top wide receiver performer this year. I see nobody talking about him. Guess where he is in terms of wide receivers overall?
12? Something like that?
7. He's the wide receiver 7 on the entire year, and nobody is talking
Wow.
about him. I don't know why, but he's playing the Raiders, who are ranked 27th against wide receivers, and I would say
The Raiders are terrible.
The Raiders
smash
are
that start
bad.
button. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just bad.
So
My guy, I love. It's finally happening. I love this player so much,
Okay.
and it is finally time for the connection to connect. I'm taking Justin Jefferson, and my
Yes.
take of the week.
Yes.
My take of the week is Justin Jefferson is going to have over 100 yards and a touchdown against the Giants.
Wow. Okay.
I watched that
this
entire.
is the connection breakout game.
It genuinely, if you watch every play,
Yeah.
that every throw that that JJ McCarthy, sorry, nine made
9. Thank
in
you.
Justin Jefferson's direction. There were a lot of those balls that Justin Jefferson dropped that should have been caught.
Mhm.
This connection is so close to being made.
Mhm.
They
He
are
had 8 targets.
so close. And the second that this connection starts getting made consistently, the Vikings are going to be a scary team.
Oh yeah.
And I think that the start
Are
of this
they-
connection happens this week.
Are they still
Listen,
in
it's-
playoff contention or no?
No, they got
they
eliminated.
got eliminated.
Okay.
But it's been tough to form a connection when JJ McCarthy went down early and they had all these quarterbacks, coming in and out of that system. It's
Right.
hard to form a connection when you don't get
Yeah.
to play with that player. So they had 2 games with each other, right? And then JJ went down, and then Carson came
Yeah.
in, and then Carson went
And
down,
Carson
and
went
then
down.
JJ's back. And
Yep.
Yeah.
it was just all over the place. So now we're finally getting to see that consistent playing time.
And honestly, I've been hating
Yeah.
on JJ McCarthy a lot this year. A lot.
Yeah, I think all of us have.
Yeah.
I think all
I
of us have.
never have been a big supporter of him just because he didn't do all that much in college as a thrower, as
He was
a
a system
leader,
quarterback.
and right. I right. But he's honestly showing that he may step out of that role very, very soon. Christian, what about you?
So
That was
Or
my
sorry,
guy.
Landon.
that was Christian's guy. So my guy,
Sorry.
Chris Olave.
Love
Oh,
This was Peter's favorite player a few years ago. He loved
that.
Chris
That was,
Olave.
yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
So he
Shout
just
out,
came off
Peter.
a game, had 20 fantasy points versus Carolina. And now they're going to be
Really?
playing the Jets. Those are 2 similar defenses there when it comes to receiver production.
Mm-hmm.
And despite being rostered in 97% of leagues, he's also only started in 60% of those leagues, despite being wide receiver 8. So Christian just
I
talked
say-
about
That's crazy.
Nico
I did not
Collins,
know
who was
that.
wide receiver 7,
Yeah,
not getting the respect. Chris Olave's been right there as well.
I say this almost every week on this podcast. Chris Olave has been the most consistent wide receiver in fantasy this year.
Yeah.
He will not get you any less than 12 points, and he will not get you much more than 18 points. But you know what? I'll take it. You need those types of guys.
I
Yes,
get
yeah.
it. People strayed away from him in the draft because of injury issues. I get it. I do. I took a flyer
And
on
he's
him.
remained healthy this year.
I took a flyer on him in the mid rounds, and it turned out great. It's time to stop with the hesitation around Chris Olave. He's fully back, and if you've made it this deep into the season, injuries aren't really a problem at this point.
Right.
Nope.
Right.
And Tyler Shucks looked pretty good. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
yeah.
No,
I was
he's
just about to say,
he's
yeah.
been
really good.
He's been a lot better than people thought.
Mhm.
Which
And
is
good
helping
for
the
him.
Giants get close to that first overall pick.
Well, yeah.
That is
yeah.
true.
Who do we
Sit.
got? Tight ends.
We got
sit.
six.
No,
Sorry.
we have to do sits. You're on a
Um,
roll today, man.
I'm on a roll today. So I know because the way that my notes are
I know
listed
the
is
way
very,
your thing is set
is
up.
very confusing to. I have to scroll down and up.
Yeah, you
um,
did that to yourself.
I did. I gotta change that for next week. Christian actually watched me put this guy on my
I
list.
watched him.
I'm like, Christian, what about this guy? He's like, no, I'm gonna put him anyway. That's George Pickens against the Chargers.
You kept him. I didn't think we were going to keep him.
No, because listen, George Pickens, once CeeDee Lamb has been back, has not been, and I predicted it. You called me. You disagreed with me. Um, and or maybe that was Jake Ferguson. That was Jake Ferguson. Which also has not been good since CeeDee Lamb came back. However, in the past 2 games, he has not gotten over 10 points. He has, I believe, 8.7 and 6.3 against Detroit and Minnesota, while CeeDee Lamb has gotten above 15 both of those games.
Is CD Lamb
Now,
playing?
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's healthy.
Cowboys aren't eliminated yet, right?
No.
Still playing for
No,
something.
they're still technically in contention, but they
If
didn't
the
win.
Eagles, okay, so actually, if the Eagles, so there's 2 Saturday games this week. The Eagles play the Commanders at 4:30. If the Eagles win that game, they win the division.
Oh,
So
I
the
didn't know that.
Cowboys technically can still win the division,
Oh,
But the Eagles have to lose out.
listen,
and the Cowboys have to
they're
win
in a
out, I
funk.
think. They are.
Yeah, they are. They are.
They're in
But
a funk. They've had
George
locker
Pickens is
room
playing against
conundrums
the
all year.
second-ranked Chargers pass defense, and if there's anything good about this Chargers team this year, it has been their defense. And I think that George Pickens is going to keep up that trajectory.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I mean, it's the Cowboys, so you never really know. That's why.
Yeah, he could. That's the gamble.
But
But
speaking of that Eagles Commanders game this weekend on Saturday, I'm taking Terry McLaurin against the Eagles as my sit. He had a touchdown this week. He had some yards. I think he ended with 15 points or something like that. But against the Eagles defense that has not looked great as of late, but I think I think they're going to be motivated by the fact that they can win the division with a win this weekend. And neither of the Commanders' wide receivers has looked good lately, him or Debo. And listen, Marcus Mariota is not even a bad quarterback. It's just
no, he's been playing decent.
But against as good of a defense as Philly has, I don't think that McLaurin will play well enough to start this week.
I agree. It's Washington as a whole this year has been very, very weird with the way that Jaden Daniels' health has been, and
Yeah,
that entire offense, Zach Ertz going down, obviously was a
that was a
huge
big blow.
loss.
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely agree with that.
So my sit for wide receivers is someone that's on my team. It's Michael Pittman. So I got 2 people on my team I got to find replacements for.
Right.
Michael Pittman. And a lot of it has to do with the quarterback. Listen, Phillip Rivers, I get it. Your benefits expired. You need to come back. You need to get that health insurance for the kiddos. I understand. I understand.
Well, he's got 10 of them, so I'd sure hope he has health insurance.
I understand. Listen, the Colts passing offense is always going to be limited. In the first game Phillip Rivers had returning to the Colts this past week, he had 3 catches, 26 yards in that game. That's not what you want to see from your wide receiver one.
No, it is not.
So
and they still almost won that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as long as Phillip Rivers is the quarterback, listen, great story. He's not a great fantasy quarterback in the year 2025.
Nope.
As a Pittman owner, I can't chase the upside here. It would just be chasing ghosts.
Yeah.
I love that, honestly. He did, and I listen, I love the comeback story. But the way that he was and I know that he's always thrown the ball a little bit weird in his career, but
Yeah,
he would
Landon's got it. Yeah.
Literally like that.
It's so weird.
The fact that he had 120 yards really shows his ability and a touchdown without playing football for 5 years.
You know what's crazy?
But
He has a 1-up on the Seahawks. He had a touchdown. Seahawks didn't have a touchdown.
Seahawks did not have a touchdown. It was such a weird thing to watch, Phillip Rivers.
I don't think the Seahawks knew how to play him.
No, I think that was like the whole thing. Like they did not know what the hell to do.
No one knew what to expect, including one of the best teams in the NFC.
Who have a big game on Thursday. Seahawks Rams. That's gonna be such a good game. So for tight ends, I'm just gonna go with mine first because it's a pretty simple explanation. It's just 2 words. Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, yeah.
The dream of
all
drafting
praise Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts in the first round has finally paid off. Everyone at the start of the season that did it as a meme, you finally got 45 points out of the guy.
That was so
insane.
funny.
Finally rest.
POV when the guy with the first overall pick passes on Kyle Pitts.
And he played so well. And the Cardinals only have the 25th best tight end defense in the league. So you know
Yeah.
what? Maybe he'll replicate it. 80 or 90 points in 2 weeks. I'll take it.
yeah.
I'll take
the
it.
best stretch by a tight end ever.
And with the questionability of Drake London, who knows what?
Yeah, what is the injury update on him? Like, is he?
He's projected points as of right now.
But no, but like, what happened to him? I don't actually.
A lot of random things. Shoulder maybe
Okay.
this time.
Like,
Yeah, my my guy is Dallas Goedert. I mean, he again a guy who killed Colin this week. Colin was playing against him.
Yeah, he was.
And if he didn't make if he didn't miss that wide open touchdown, he would have ended with like 30 points.
Yeah.
So Jalen Hurts is obviously looking for him. He's looking a lot more at Dallas Goedert and AJ Brown in the
the red zone.
As the season went on. So I especially he's playing against Washington, as we've said. They are just atrocious on
And
defense.
Colin was getting screwed by the stack of Hurts and Goddard.
Yeah. Which I didn't really think was a viable stat until
No, but
this
you know
week.
what? It was.
But again, Washington is ranked 29th against tight ends, so start him.
My guy, Mark Andrews versus the Patriots.
Love that. I love Mark Andrews, man.
Listen, he hasn't had a great year. He was the guy I picked up on waivers after my starting tight end went down. Can't remember who it was now, even. But the Patriots.
You had Laporta. You had Laporta.
Yeah, I had Laporta. So the Patriots, they ranked 25th versus tight ends in terms of fantasy points. You know, Andrews is due to get hot. Patriots give up about 12 points to tight ends every week. This is a great get right spot. Bad tight end defense, good player, simple math.
Yeah.
Simple math.
For the sit, I think Nick and I have the same. I remember you saying it before when we were sitting in the living room.
There is a chance we all three have the same one.
Well, Nick. Okay, Nick might have taken this. I have Harold Fannin.
No,
I don't know if Nick.
So do I.
Nick. Okay, because you said you might put Njoku.
Well, I put both.
Okay, so Buffalo ranks first in tight end defense in the entire league.
Yeah.
So
Which is crazy.
I'll just talk about both Fannin and Njoku because I feel like they're interchangeable at this point. You never really know who's going to get used. But I think Hunter Henry, who was my pick last week against the Bills, had 3 points or something. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to roll with it and pick the Browns, who are already not very good. And I'm going to take their tight ends against the Bills, who I think are going to stomp them this week.
Yeah, and listen, if there's any point, or if there's any part of the Bills' defense that has been keeping them in game, it is their short, their short, distance defense, and that's where Harold Fannin and David Njoku thrive. Yep. If you take away that leverage, I don't think. Again, they're touchdown dependent, and in playoffs, you cannot depend on a player who's touchdown dependent.
Listen, and we've seen Shador. Shador likes to throw the ball deep. He does. Mm-hmm. He does a lot. And he's looking for a moment. But that brings me to my sit, and that's going to be Travis Kelce versus the Titans. This might be a sad moment because this might be the last time Travis Kelce is ever available to use in fantasy. But listen, Mahomes is out. The Batman to his Robin is gone, and Kelce's aura has been gone for a long time. And without Mahomes, he's just a tight end and not a great one right now. He's had a lot of bad moments these past 2 years. You know, we saw him lose his temper against Andy Reid in the Super Bowl last year, and we kept seeing moments like that happen this year.
Yep.
Where Travis Kelce would yell something, no one would know who it was directed towards, but what he was saying like was not the Travis Kelce we were used to seeing in the past. So listen, Jason Kelce has given him some advice to step away from the game after this year, do some hard thought reflection on his career. And
He's getting old too.
this really
Yeah.
might be the beginning of the end for Travis
Yeah.
Kelce.
Somebody, I'm trying to think. I don't remember who asked me this question yesterday. It might have been someone I work with, actually. Yeah, we were on our break. We were talking about it. I don't think Kelsey's retiring this year. I think he's retiring next year. He's going to
Okay.
go on. He's going to be one of those players that's like, this is my last season.
Yeah, he wants to do it
so that
for-
everybody can appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
Which
Mahomes
I'm
will
not
be back.
against.
No, I'm not. Listen, as much hate as I give him sometimes, I do not dislike Travis Kelce. He is one of the best tight ends we've ever. He's
To
probably
ever do it.
the best tight end behind Gronk that we have ever seen with our own eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Like-
I got to respect him as much as I don't like. I don't even dislike who he is. He's funny. I don't know. There's just something about him. I don't. Rubs me the
He's a
wrong
little
way.
bit cocky. He's a little arrogant, but who's not in the NFL? You
But
know?
I feel like it's almost like he used to be cocky and arrogant, but people used to like it. But like now
Right.
people don't like it.
I genuinely I think it just has something to do with Taylor Swift, and I don't mean that in like a mean way or a bad way. It's genuinely just the way that people look at him.
Yeah, it's I think it's the people that call themselves fans that came over with Taylor Swift.
Yes, I completely agree.
And that's the people that kind of muddy the whole Chiefs.
Yep.
The Chiefs as a whole. Yeah.
Yeah. No disrespect to Taylor Swift or Travis Kelce. It's the same thing that I always say about how much I don't like Shohei Ohtani. It has nothing to do with him. It has to do with the way the media covers him.
Yes.
That I
Yeah.
do not.
Yes.
That makes me dislike him.
100%.
Yeah.
The media
Yeah.
controls how we feel about players, and with Travis Kelce,
Yeah.
there's something that annoys like everyone.
And
and
that's the way it is.
it's sad because the fact of the matter is that I don't think anybody in that organization wanted that,
No.
because it causes a lot of distractions. Like you see it all the time where players cannot, or at least it's difficult to minimize distractions when throughout the season. Like that's why a lot of them don't go on social media or whatever. It's because the stuff that they get sent to them is ridiculous, and that causes on-field issues. That's
Yeah.
just the bottom
Yeah.
line of it. So, and he's also got he's like 35 now.
I think so, yeah.
He's getting older. I mean, it's time. You saw against the against the Broncos, he basically lost them that game. He missed, the ball came off his
Yeah.
fingertips and they were able to intercept it. That would have never happened 5 years
And
ago.
that's happened a lot
2 years ago.
recently.
Genuinely 2 years ago that wouldn't have
2
happened.
years ago. Yeah,
And it's
even,
happened
yeah.
a lot this year. That's not the first time that's happened where it's deflected right off his hands into a defender.
It's sad
Yeah.
to see, but everyone's time comes in the NFL.
Mhm.
And his is coming maybe sooner than he wanted it to, sooner than a lot of people expected.
Listen, he's had a great
But-
career. He's going to be a first ballot
Mhm.
Hall of Famer.
He's absolutely
yeah,
getting
100%.
there's no
Nothing to
doubt in my
be-
mind.
Nothing to
He's
be
the
ashamed
second
of.
best tight end of all time, in my opinion.
And Phillip Rivers will get into the Hall of Fame in 5 years.
Yeah, his
Oh
clock
yeah,
reset.
that delayed his.
He was a semifinalist for the Hall of Fame this year. And now his clock reset, so he has to wait another 2031 Phillip Rivers Hall of
Imagine
Fame.
if he made it though.
He probably was. He would.
No, he's excited. The clock that matters reset. The insurance clock.
The insurance.
Actually,
like-
who was talking about? Mac Hollins was actually talking about that.
Matt
In his-
Collins is
like,
a weird dude, man.
weird dude. He posted a Instagram reel or a TikTok or whatever explaining the whole situation. I was like, okay, that's not really for you to talk about, but go ahead.
Did you see the way he showed up to the game?
Yeah,
on
shirtless
Sunday?
and He's crazy.
shoe and sockless.
Yes, he's
The
crazy.
Patriots wide
snow.
receiver.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude with the big afro.
Yeah.
He was also chirping the hell out of the Bills
Yeah,
just for
yeah.
them to lose is
He was.
crazy.
Yeah.
He was going like, dude, you are a
Mac-
wide receiver 3 at best.
Matt Collins is an interesting dude. Got to give it to
Yeah.
him. And with that, I think that's it for the week.
Yeah. We only have
And-
2 1?
Two more fantasy episodes. Then we'll do our NFL playoff predictions on location in Florida. And then we'll talk about this probably more in that Florida
in the coming
video.
weeks.
In the
Yeah.
Florida, but a lot of change is coming, and it's going to be
Stay
a lot of
tuned.
fun. It's going to be a
Yeah.
lot of fun. More of Landon, some new faces.
Thank you, Bird. We love you, Bird.
Love you guys.
Love
too.
you. This is great.
This is awesome. It's a great time.
I think this might be one of our this might be our longest episode.
I think the longest episode.
I don't think there's anything I have to cut because
No, I
we
don't-
restarted. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
All
gonna be
right, let's
great.
do it.
This is great.
All right.
If you're still in the playoffs, good luck, Bird. Good luck this week against Aiden.
All right,
You're
thank
gonna
you,
need
guys.
it.
Me
He's a good
and
team.
Christian will be rooting for you.
Of
All
course.
right.
And
Thank you guys.
But
Good
thank
luck.
you everybody for listening. And we will see you next week.
All right.
see ya.
Let's enjoy some football.